Oh, hello. Complete
Howdy,
creep.
peoples.
Thank you for the host. Hello everyone. Let me know if there's volume differences because a lot of things got messed up from uh last stream, Sunday stream. So, Bad Frog might be a little quiet and we will adjust him. But hi everyone. Hello,
It's just
hello,
me.
hello. What's up, Dap? What's up, military? Oh, I am not. I'm echoing slightly. All right. What's up, Dablo is Beast? How's it going, guys? Um, welcome. Mixcast episode 32. Hi, British Chairs. Yeah, we actually got a pretty diverse, 3-2. 3-3-2, Miss JG. There's 30 of them, and then there's two more. Yeah, we got a pretty diverse topic list today. I don't know, in today's Mixcast. Got a pretty diverse one. We're gonna talk about esports in the army. We touched up a little bit on it on a previous episode. We're gonna dive a little bit deeper in it because there's a lot of details on it. Plus you guys know that I'm super military focused, and Bad Frog's wife is in the army, and we're very pro military here, so we are very happy to chat about that stuff. We're going to talk about some CES news. For those who don't know what CES is, it's actually the biggest electronic technical convention in the world. CES is the Consumer Electronics Show. Basically, if you like tech at all, CES is the place. It's really, really cool. And we're going to chat about some previous life goals. What did you want to do as a kid? What did you want to do when when you were graduating high school and maybe graduating college? Maybe what are you doing now? What do you want to do? Things along that line. Yeah. So pretty diverse topic list today. How's it going, Bad Frog?
It's going pretty good.
You plugged in?
Except for GIMP is about to drive me insane,
Oh,
but that's all right.
Is that why you're lagging a little bit, or are you not plugged in?
Oh, I'm plugged in.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't know why I'm lagging.
I think you have a program on your computer slowing you down.
Well, let's.
Your voice seems fine, but your video is definitely stuttering, which would cause, if you're using GIMP, would be graphical issues. So,
let's see.
but yeah, CES is base. CES is a great convention. Actually, funny enough, CES, I believe, is Jade Fox's favorite convention. So hopefully Jade Fox gets to stop by and chat about CES a little bit. Let's see. How's it going, Inked? Hello, Miss JG. Hello, military. Hi, Ang Warrior. Haven't seen you in a while. What's up, mister? You've been playing on GIMP all night, teaching yourself a little bit of that Photoshop, huh? All right. Let's jump into some stuff. Making new bits and bobs.
You gotta see the cool stuff I'm trying to make.
You're making a bunch of cool stuff?
Well, I'm making GIF embedded buttons.
Ooh.
And if me and GIMP don't learn how to do cropping, we're gonna fight soon.
Forgot to turn on the buttons. You're always welcome to remind me of buttons. So.
I forgot all about the buttons. Buttons! Look at all those pretty buttons.
Nice stat. Bought a whole new Dark Bomber set tonight. Cool, man. Miss JG, it's been eventful. My laptop died again. We blew a fuse and I slept a lot. This sinus infection is kicking her butt. Oh, man.
I thought it was kicking her dollar signs, but...
Apparently it's her dollar signs. Man. Everyone is getting sick again. Everyone.
Right before PAX, too.
I know. Speaking of that, we were just chatting about that at work today. Yulia, who is the marketing director at Tiny Build, she also does all of our PR. Even though I'm starting to take over a little bit of that stuff. She just got a stomach flu from Mexico because they just got back from Mexico, and she's in the office, and I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. Hopefully, you have to actually, like, eat whatever she ate to be sick.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah. I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't get sick. And she got sick right before PAX, and I was like, you got sick right before PAX. You're going to get sick right after PAX. That's what's going to happen. She's like, no. I'm going to become immune to PAX because I'm already sick.
That's not the way it works.
It was like, we'll see.
Oh, man.
Spacey, who stole my beard? Bad Frog. Bad Frog, don't you see it? He stole my beard. Look at him.
Look at that beast.
I know, he stole it.
All right, BD, you got to stop.
Beware the PAX illnesses. I know. I've been dealing with my life, so I'm happy to be back on Mixer. Ang Warrior, we're happy to have you back on Mixer. Happy to have you back. I don't want to get sick PAXes next week, right? Curious Kells, right? Thank you. Actually, towards the end of this week, we should talk. We should put Friday as since it's the last day of Mixcast before PAX. We should talk about PAX. That should be our Friday topic.
Absolutely. Let me make a note.
Emergency. That should be a topic on its own. Man, yeah, no, I'm nervous. I don't want to get sick right before PAX. So, snort it, drink it, love it. I mean, you can't go wrong. Wear a mask? I really should. It's a massive DPM. All right. Let's jump into it. We also have a code of the day for you guys, so that way if you want to win a year of Xbox Live, hang out for a bit, you'll get a code and an opportunity to win 1 year of Xbox Live. Do you have hand sanitizer at work? I literally brought, I don't know if you guys remember, when I was sick, I think it was like the first week of December, I was sick and I had to stay home from work on like my second week of work. I was like, I feel terrible staying home from work as soon as I got hired. So the next day I ended up going back, but I was like, I do not want you guys to get sick. Here is a bottle of hand sanitizer. It's like one of those huge ones. And I brought it to the new office and it sits on the conference table for everyone to use. So it was my donation to work.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It was very considerate of your fellow coworkers. Just like no one wants to be sick, I don't want to get anyone else sick. So.
Oh, see, I'm just the opposite. If I get sick, I want everybody sick.
No.
Suffer with me.
No. We wipe our desks down weekly for that reason. So, well, are you often switching desks with people, Miss JG? No? Okay. Yeah. Like, I have my own dedicated station. No one ever touches my stuff unless I'm asking them to do an email for me or something. Like, sometimes I don't know the support question answers. So, like, if it's a game, like, Final Station is a tiny build game that I'm just not that aware of because it was a game that came out a long time ago. I don't know the answers to the questions. I've never played the game. So when someone has a Final Station question, I usually let someone else do the email because I just don't know the answer to it. Unless it's like a simple, my game won't turn on. Well, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Type of thing. And if it goes further than that, I usually hand it off to someone else. So, but yeah. Wear a gas mask so you can go cosplay as Metro Prime character for PAX West. That'd be cool.
I'm actually watching somebody play Metro right now.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Well, kind of. I'm kind of trying to change my calendar again since you messed it up by leaving Friday.
Jade Fox, thank you for the host. Amberu, thank you for the host. Do you still play Fortnite? Yes.
Jade Fox. Where's Jade Fox?
She hosted.
I know, but I don't see her in chat.
Metro Exodus.
There she
Hello.
is. Whose birthday is it today?
It is Jade Fox's birthday today.
It is Jade Fox's birthday today.
Don't
worry, I'm not singing, but I was just wanting to. There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
Happy birthday, Jade Fox. Her ears are going bing, 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 bing.
That's what I wanted to see.
For any
Fox hates me now.
For any audio listeners, she's being pinged like 400 times in chat. So
yeah, it's not pleasant, I'm sure.
all right. Give her a break. She knows it's her birthday. Rogue Rage, thank you for the host. Rip. She needs more love. Oh, she needs more love, but we could give her ears a break. Happy birthday, Jade Fox. Happy birthday. She's gonna need her audiologist tomorrow. All right, let's jump into it. Esports in the Army. So let's talk about it. We have a bunch of people. Well, maybe we have a handful of people who have served in the military, some specifically in the Army. Bad Frog's wife is a good example. She's an active Army. And video gaming is actually, from what I've been told and from what I've been seeing, and it might not be true for everywhere, but video gaming is actually a really, trying to find the perfect word, but I'm just going to stick with something simple. A very wanted thing in the military. When you're
understating it. I'm telling you right now.
Because
I would say 95% of Army personnel, when they are in barracks or something,
exactly,
trying to get internet and they have a game.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at.
Or an Xbox.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at is, it's very wanted because, I mean, you'll just be sitting there, like when you get deployed out and let's say you get sent off to Afghanistan or something like that, very high desert world out there. And there's not a lot going on. It's not safe for you to be traveling that far out of town. Sometimes they just don't want to get out of town because, there's a lot of trust issues because they're always on the defense. So they hang out in barracks, and if they're not reading, sometimes they're playing games. And there's a lot of charity donations to get active Army or any military, for example, to get them video gaming. There's a lot of charities for it, and there's video game based charities built specifically for that as well. Which leads us into our active topic, esports in the Army. Some of these people who are in the Army, even though their career went to go serve for our military, it doesn't stop them from having a passion in gaming and wanting to be competitive. And so Bad Frog found us an article and a lot of information on allowing our military to have some participation in electronic sports. So you wanna take some
Yeah, interestingly enough, what started this is my wife forwarded me an email that she got that the Army sent out everywhere, and that they're looking for basically what it boils down, they're looking for 30 people who are very good at games, and they're going to have a 3-year commitment in Kentucky where that's all they're going to do is play games. They're going to go to tournaments. They're going to have their own tournaments, but it's a serious deal. They're going to have a no kidding Army esports team. But out of all the people there's a couple thousand have signed up, they said, but there's only 30 they're going to take. So you're going to have to be pretty good. And a lot of these guys in the Army are seriously competitive.
Yeah.
I promise you, because going back on a little bit what Big said, my wife was in San Antonio for a while in the hospital, and that's where they send almost all of the guys that lose limbs and stuff for rehab. And you couldn't go anywhere without finding the game console of some kind. And those guys were really serious.
Yeah.
So.
It's a huge thing. And plus, like, if you think about it in this sense, a lot of military is just competitive on its own, being in the Army is literally fighting for survival, right? If you get put into a circumstance where you need to fight to survive, that's just what it has to be, and you have to be quick like that. which brings a lot of natural instincts of being competitive. So when these soldiers are playing, shooters, or when they're playing Rocket League, or they're playing whatever it might be, even speedrunning. I've seen a lot of military doing speedrunning in video games. It's just the competitive nature to try to be the best, because there's going to be circumstances when you're in the military where you need to be the best of what you are. So I'm actually surprised it took this long for military-specific esports leagues to turn up. And this is fantastic that we have a team that's being built for that. And even though Bad Frog said it's only 30 is actually a decent number, because for esports teams, generally not a lot of people, so it's really good. I want to jump into some of these comments before we lose them and we get too far. Hi, David. You lost power for 31 hours yesterday. Oh my god, that's insane. We will have to jump on that for a little bit, but let's go through this topic first. But 31 hours, that's insane. Let the army play CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege, Spacey Thrower says. Honestly, it's whatever you donate. The military accepts physical donations of video games because they send them out to these countries for the units to play. They also receive them in the hospitals and things like that. When someone gets shot, or if there's an incident and they're having to stay in the hospital for a while, they go stir crazy because they're just sitting there. So it's a lot of trying to keep them occupied and trying to keep them, sanity. If you go out to war and you got hit, there's a lot of, oh my god, I just risked my life type of thing. So it's a good thing to be able to support in any way that you can, and video gaming is a huge one. Dr. Rage says, I have a lot of my buddies that are still in the Navy, and they play games all the time. It's very big. I'm glad to hear all these people that are putting in pieces of information like this. Belly says, my brother brought home a bunch of desert. Wait. My brother brought home a bunch of desert in his PS2 back in the day. There was a bunch of sand in his PS2. Is that what you're saying? He brought home some of the desert with him?
Dr. Rage, who I know is former military, said I went to Walter Reed a few years ago, and they had a few rooms that have nothing but games everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. Gaming is huge.
It's huge. It's a huge pastime. And think about how many hours it wastes in quotations, right? And that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. When you have to burn a lot of time, you want to burn that time having a good time, right? You don't want to dread it. And if you can burn that time playing through a campaign of a game that you enjoy, or playing multiplayer online, if you can get the connectivity, it's awesome. It's really cool.
And what anybody in the military will recognize this statement: hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait. Yeah. Because that's what the military is. You're in a hurry to get to point A to point B, and then you wait for 2 hours.
Yeah. What's up with Unknown? Darth Pike says, we used to have a LAN party our LAN party in our barracks day room every weekend. That's really cool. It's really cool. Reminds me of college. I used to have LAN parties we actually lived in a hotel for my first 6 months of college, and my first year of college we lived in a hotel, and we used to play between the different hotel rooms because they connect halfway between the rooms. There's a door. We just open up the door and just hook up Ethernets between each rooms. So it's really fun.
We're glad you could make it, Unknown. I appreciate it.
Let's see.
Dr. Rage, the only thing is you say it's therapeutic to play games, but I've seen you, and that doesn't look like therapy to me. That looks like I'm going to break something.
Hey, man, sometimes it's a lot of, screaming to the pillow type of thing. You got to get your anger out somewhere. It's better on a video game, right? British chairs, you just lost your power for a little bit. Round 2 is coming. Get ready. No way. So you guys are at a different part of Seattle than I am. I'm not experiencing any of this, by the way. None of this. Just came from Bellevue, and Bellevue is clear skies. There's none of this happening. None of this. This is crazy. I can't believe how much different weather you guys have right now.
It's raining. It's raining where I'm at. It's crazy. Rain in California?
That's true too. You guys are like on the world's longest drought. Let's see. Belly says plus multiplayer games help with communication and teamwork. Absolutely, man. Probably not as much, not as useful as some of the other communication that they could be using, but at least they're working together or having a good time doing it, so it makes talking to each other a lot easier, you know? Sometimes when you're going in, you don't know who these people are, and you're just forced to get along with them, right? So if you can find a means of equal ground, it's a lot easier to learn to enjoy each other's company. So,
and honestly, it is a good thing for that because especially the Army is always, they have this battle buddy thing. You always have somebody that's your buddy that you're supposed to be with, especially like in boot camp and school. But it's a teamwork concept. So these games that like COD, team deathmatch, a lot of team deathmatch games where you got multiple players. It's a good thing that they can talk to each other and learn how to do fast, quick decisions like that. I think it helps.
Yeah. Let's see. David says, how do they get Wi-Fi when they're on a submarine? Do they? And then Dr. Rage says they don't have Wi-Fi in subs unless they've changed it. The only way that I could see it happening is through pretty strong satellite signals, but I can't imagine like getting any deeper, you know. Like even radio signals start getting really bad when you start going pretty deep. There was like the whole James Cameron thing when he was exploring part of the deepest parts of the ocean, right? So it starts getting really difficult. I can't imagine if there's any sort of internet capabilities. So
there's not unless they're surfaced, but I suspect they've got on board. You could call it Wi-Fi, but I suspect it's a little bit stronger.
I don't even know if it would be Wi-Fi, to be honest. All the cords would be just within the ship itself, just running to different computers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because everybody's got their own computers now. They got their laptops that are small enough they can stick somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know on that, but I mean, they would have some kind of internal deal where everybody could play with each other, I'm sure.
I wonder how much time is spent in submarines right now? Like
6 months.
Like at a time?
Well, you got 3 months out, 3 months back, 3 months out, 3 months back.
Really?
Unless they've changed it. You had a
port. And how many people are going out in subs?
Yeah, blue and gold.
Thanks, so Dr. 2 H. teams are going out in submarines, and that's
worse about that than any other branch, I think, because not only are you tied up on a ship or
it's limitations.
You can't go anywhere. You really have, if you're not on duty, which it wouldn't have done me any good because when I was in the Navy, we did 12-hour shifts. You were on for 12, off for 12, on for 12, off for 12.
Oh my God!
And in the off for 12, you were lucky to get 5 hours of sleep because you had to eat 2 meals and you had other work you had to do.
Yeah.
So,
no kidding.
It was miserable, but other places didn't have that. And especially when you're in port somewhere where you can't go anywhere, you're just sitting there watching TV, or we've played spades all the time. So.
Yeah. A lot of cards, a lot of reading, stuff like that.
A lot of cards.
I can only imagine the amount of Kindle downloads, you know, reading tons of books while you're down there. That's insane. It's kind of crazy to think about it because it's quite the opposite of space. But at the same time, it's very similar, right? what are you doing? You can't do anything. You're stuck in a little ship. That's it. You know? So you have to create a lot of activity for yourself for moments where you have time to actually be to yourself, you know? Gaming, you know, reading, whatever it might be. Playing cards, trying to do stuff for your family, like a lot of astronauts will make videos and send them back. Uh, Probably in a sub, you're not doing much of that, but you could probably do a lot of recording, you know. So it's definitely interesting to think about. But yeah, there was a specific article that Bad Frog had brought up. Was there anything that you wanted? Like you had talked about the 30 units. Did you want to dive any deeper into it?
No, not really. I just the only reason it came up is because my wife got that email and she forwarded it to me.
Okay.
It was just one of those things, and I found that article for you, and you've also got a copy of the email, or not a copy of the email, but I cut and pasted what was important.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was it. It was an interesting deal that they're actually going to start an esports team.
Yeah.
And it's just like well, I'm not going to go on a tangent on that because we got other stuff to do. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so, and a couple of things that I want to jump into that is when we've done our Memorial Day streams, we supported Operation Supply Drop because they are like direct veterans and active military charity. So they donate to veterans' families if the unit never made it back or whatever it may be, if they died after war. If they support our active military, so sending out video games and entertainment to our units that are currently deployed, and they help our injured, and they try. I don't know if they help. They probably do help homeless veterans, like because that's a serious problem in the United States. But they do a lot of work in that sense. And there's a couple of charities. The Operation Supply Drop is just one of them that is extremely active in the video game community, and I've met a lot of them. So it's a really cool thing, and I bet you a ton they are going to be working very close with this esports league. So I can only imagine, you know, how much of a partnership they're going to have. So yeah. Dr. Rage said being in a ship really sucks because to get internet in the middle of the ocean, so most of the time it's just story mode or lane play. Yeah. And Belly says subs would have a sat uplink, not an internet that would be capable of gaming. Right. It's mostly to send data out or to receive very small amounts of data. Voice communication, you know, points of text. That's about it. I can't imagine a lot getting underwater that far. So, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Yeah, very cool. I guess move on to the next one. Some CES news. Dr. Rage says, I spent a lot of my time on the ship sleeping. I bet. It's a lot of work, and like what Bad Frog said, you know, when you're not sleeping, you're generally eating. You got to eat 2 meals in that 12 hours, and then lastly, you know, there's probably other things you got to do too, so you don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time. Eat, poop, work, sleep.
Yeah, you got to replenish the ship, which is always fun to do. And it's, I don't know, I suspect it's the same. It's all manpower to move it. So it's
to move the ship?
No, to move supplies. Just a short version, unless they changed it. The way you get supplies on a small ship is you go up to a tender, and they shoot a little line over to your ship, underway replenishment. Yep. And you pull that line, it pulls a bigger line and a bigger line and a bigger line and a bigger line until you get one about that big around, and you're pulling it across. Then at some point a wire comes across, and then you push things back and forth on this wire between the two ships. So they got to stay a certain distance apart. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But to pull the stuff back and forth, you got to have 30, 40 guys up there pulling the rope to pull the stuff across.
Why do the ships have to be so far apart to be able to move like cargo between them?
Because if you're talking about ocean with waves, it's a minimum 5-foot waves out in the middle of the ocean. Exactly. They'll drift together.
So hit each other and potentially capsize?
Well, they'll cause a lot of damage, but it's you've got to be a certain amount of distance so you can make adjustments if you have to. And that was the
more of metal damage. So
that
potentially
was the most
harmful
hateful job ever was doing that.
Potentially harmful for the ship, which could cause a lot of future issues. Yeah. Okay.
I guess fueling was worse because when you pulled the hose across there, and when you got about 5 feet away from the connection, everybody had to start running with the rope, so it would make contact and seat right. And of course, every time it hit, half of us would flop on the ground because we're running full speed with a rope that suddenly stops.
That's so interesting. When did like how long did you serve Navy, Bad Frog?
2 years.
2 years? Okay.
Back in '86. So
okay. I wouldn't even say that's terribly that long ago, to be honest. So, like, man, 86, Miss JG. Yeah, no. Bad Frog knows how much we care here on my personal stream, and here, of course, Mixcast, because he's a part of it, that we care for our military. So
anyway, I didn't
says the young guy.
But that was it's an interesting deal. Just how you get stuff back and forth and how antiquated it is. They've been doing it that way for decades.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder if there is easier methods of doing that. So, oh my god. So, sneakily, Stat Booster is in here.
Has he been whispering you too?
Just one. He said Navy brought him in for expertise. He helped Noah build the Ark.
I can't repeat some of the stuff he sent me.
Oh my god. Dead. I'm dead.
Point Stat Booster.
Oh my god. All right. Let's chat about some Fox, am I correct into saying that CES is your favorite convention? Even though you've never been, it is probably one of the most interesting conventions out there because of what comes out of it. That's actually how we started the show. CES. CES is the Consumer Electronics Show. Basically, anything that's electronics gets announced at CES. Unless it's video gaming, it usually gets announced at E3. Or Gamescom. It's like E3 for electronics. So Bad Frog has a bunch of specific things that he wants to share that was announced at CES. And I'm just gonna go through some really cool ones that I see. And yeah, and if there's any topics that you guys want to chat about further, we can.
Unknown?
What?
He said, are we going to talk about a certain streaming equipment company? Yeah, I want to hear about that. If it's not anything we're already doing.
Potentially. I don't know. But yeah, there's actually a bunch of really cool topics on here. There's some topics where you guys are going to be like, add that to the Mixcast list, and we want you to do that. We're going to dive into a couple of them that Bad Frog picked out. But I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of them that you guys want to talk about further.
Is that I think I've got that.
Elgato with $200 key lights. We'll have to touch on that just a little bit, but all right. So yeah, just to give you guys an example, there's 110 things that were announced at CES today. So I'm going to jump into some of them and talk about them. HTC announced that there is a new Vive Pro Eye virtual reality headset with native eye tracking. So if you don't know the HTC Vive, it's the direct competitor to the Oculus Rift. This is the Oculus Rift. Direct competitor. I actually prefer the Vive. I think it's a nicer piece of equipment, but the Oculus is not a bad one at all. The Vive Pro Eye allows you, like, literally, it will track your eye movements while you're inside the virtual reality headset. Who knows the amount of possibilities that could come out of that. Along with that, HTC partnered with Mozilla to bring Firefox's virtual reality web browser to the Vive headset. So that one's actually really cool because, man, Firefox is a very underrated browser. Like, I don't use Firefox myself, but Firefox is my secondary go-to because Firefox is an amazing browser. And yeah, Firefox is, I think, is the second largest browser in the United States. So, or in the world, sorry. Yeah, Firefox is huge. So this is massive. HTC partnering up with Mozilla to create Firefox virtual reality web browser for the Vive. That's really cool.
What I thought was the best part about this particular deal, and now I can't see it anywhere, is it's supposed to have a flip up front, so you don't actually have to take the things off. But I cannot find it now.
For what? The Vive?
For the VR stuff.
For the Vive, yeah. So that would be your mixed reality because Vive is virtual reality. But if you're able to, sorry,
I'm pretty sure it was a VR that.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is if you have virtual reality, right? So you have this guy.
Yeah.
I can't see through that, right? But imagine if this flipped up and then I could see through it.
Yep.
That's where it becomes augmented reality. But you can't have virtual reality and augmented reality. At that point, it becomes mixed reality. You're able to do both. So that's really cool if they've created a virtual reality headset that's capable of turning into mixed reality. So I'm actually going to read through a bunch of these. I won't go into very many details, but I'm just going to show you the amount of things that CES actually announces, and then we'll go into Bad Frog's specific ones he wants to talk about, because he chose really good ones. Samsung's new fridge will ping your phone if you leave the door open. That's pretty sweet. Let's see.
My fridge talking to me.
HTC announces a PC-powered virtual reality headset called the Vive Cosmos.
That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, is it? That's funny. Samsung's latest flagship laptop brings the premium feel back. They call it the Notebook 9 Pro. Let's see. Vizio talks about if they were to take the smart out of smart TVs, it would actually make the TVs more expensive than what they are to make smart TVs. Because I know I personally hate smart TVs. I don't buy smart TVs. I buy non-smart TVs because I hate the UI. So that's actually really interesting to think that it's actually more expensive to make non-smart TVs now. So
you just don't like the TV smarter than you.
I hate the UI. For me, it's not user friendly at all.
I love smart.
It's announced that they fixed the worst part of pop sockets. Now, OtterBoxes have pop sockets that are pre-installed into them, so they don't come off.
God.
But one of the big things about pop sockets, I like pop sockets. I think they're fantastic. I have one on mine. I've had one on mine for 2 years. I love them. But the cool thing about pop sockets are they're so customizable, right? So hopefully they make it so that way you can actually flip the top off of it. So you can rep different brands. Let's see. Let's see. LG Display made a portable 27-inch monitor, and it's plugged into whatever device with a USB-C cable. That is insanely cool. If you don't know what a USB-C cable is, that's the one that plugs into a Nintendo Switch. It's the little oval one that's becoming extremely common now. People didn't recognize the capability of a USB-C cable. A portable 27-inch monitor that you just plug in with a USB-C, that's pretty cool. Lenovo joins the ultra-wide display party with two 43.4-inch monitors, starting them off at $1,200. They won't last $1,200, I promise you that. Let's see. Lenovo is also updating the ThinkPad X1 Carbon and the X1 Yoga. Those are their two laptop brands that they go with, the ThinkPads and the Yogas. Actually, Cassie has, pretty sure she has a Yoga. The Yogas are actually fantastic laptops. Sony announces a giant-sized 8K and 4K TV. So, we're getting there. 8K is next, people. Let's see. Sony's best 2019 party speaker cup has cup holders for your beer. There you go. Your cup holders have battery packs in them now. Let's go, Sony.
Oh, God.
Let's go, Sony.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see. Intel's Project Athena pushes PC makers to create advanced laptops that will now have AI built into them and 5G capability. 5G, I guess, being the next step to 4G, like LTE. I don't know. I don't know what 5G is, but
LTE is pretty damn fast.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the 5G is supposed to be towards. Let's see. Trying to find some other cool ones. Ooh, Anchor. Anchor is a huge brand. I actually use them for all of my chargers. I use Anchor for a lot of projects. They're actually becoming one of the best-selling technologies on Amazon. They make like batteries, components to any of your devices. They're really big in the electronic market, and they're taking over Amazon. They're really cool. Amazon's newest Soundcore Rave speakers promises to power your outdoor parties. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that was page 1 of 5. Let's see. NVIDIA's mobile RTX 2080 lets you play Overwatch at 4K on a gaming laptop at 60 FPS. Harley Davidson's first all-electric motorcycle is coming in August 2019, but it will cost you $30,000. That's actually not bad.
That's kind of what a Harley costs.
I was going to say, that's not that bad.
Just to let you know.
What do you think about that, though, Bad Frog? An all-electric motorcycle by Harley Davidson this year for $30,000.
It's actually a really good price for a Harley. As far as being electric and new technology, because the next one I'm looking at is about $52,000. So
they're calling it the Livewire.
But yeah, it's like I think we talked about that before. There's electric motorcycles that are doing the Pikes Peak run. It's getting there.
That's pretty neat for me. I like that a lot.
Yeah, they're fast, but it's the same thing. You got to have the ability to get to stations to charge. So
yeah,
that's
well, but I mean, but the other thing is like how little power motorcycles require. Like even from gasoline, I can't imagine how little they cost from electricity too. So,
yeah, my V-Rod gets 30 miles to a gallon. My Hayabusa probably gets 42.
Hmm.
So my wife's 1200 roadster. It's not a roadster. And she gets over 40 miles to a gallon, I'm pretty sure.
Nice. Roku and TCL are working on an 8K HDR TV that's coming in 2019. Roku TVs, instead of having to plug in the stick, you will now just talk to the TV. No microphone required. You'll just talk to the TV. That's actually pretty cool because I hate talking to my controller for the Amazon Fire Stick. I hate that. Alright, okay, here we go. Elgato announces a professional $200 light rig for Twitch streamers and YouTube creators.
Yep.
Now I see what you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay.
That's one of them I had too, so
we'll jump into that. Let's see.
If you pull up that link, you can get a nice picture. You don't have one on the CES website. One of those links I sent you.
I actually have all the links you sent me, so we're good.
Okay.
Trying to see if there's any last good ones that I want to talk about before we jump into the specifics. Let's see. After trying your front door, Amazon wants to let people deliver packages inside your garage. So they'll have the ability to open up your garage, leave a package, and close your garage. No more stolen packages, but do you trust Amazon drivers to go into your garage? I don't know. Gotta put a camera in there. You gotta put cameras in your garage now. Let's see. Audi and Disney want to spice up your Uber ride with virtual reality. They want to actually create your Uber rides to be virtual reality video games. Interesting. Yeah. Crazy. And they do, like, CES just announces everything, man. Ring's latest smart doorbell installs on your door's peephole and detects knocks. Kodak's new instant camera and printer line capture the clunky side of nostalgia. LG's groundbreaking roll-up TV is going on sale this year. It's a 4K TV that rolls up. LG will bring AirPlay 2 support to their 2019 TVs. GE has made a 27-inch smart display for above your stove that streams Netflix and Spotify. I love it. I love it. Let's see. All right, yeah, no, that's it. I could dive into a billion other topics here. Like CES is crazy, man. CES is crazy. Let's jump into
pick some more stuff out for tomorrow night, then too.
Yeah.
Back to the VR headset. It was on this thing. The Cosmos features a flip-up design for when you want to see outside the mask without taking the entire headset, and it does not require external tracking devices like the base sensors needed for the Vive and the Vive Pro. So that was
keep going.
That was the part of I knew I'd seen and I wanted to get back to a little bit because what I don't like about yours is the fact that you got to take it all the way off if you want to see. It'd be so nice to just flip up the front, and it'd be a lot easier on you, especially as a streamer, to just be able to flip the front up and you could do your thing and not be blind and have to pull all that stuff off. And so
and it looks really cool too. So I'm going to show you
that little 20-second video.
Actually, I haven't even seen the video. I'm looking at the picture. So I'm going to pull up on the screen real quick, guys. If you want to take a look, right here, desktop image. I guess this is the new look of the Vive, so it looks a lot closer to the Oculus, and even the handsets, because the handsets I don't think ever had the wraparounds, and now they're using the wraparounds because the Oculus was actually the first to use the wraparounds. It looks like Vive is using that now too. But I think Vive does it exactly the opposite. I'm pretty sure the wraparound goes over the top, but that's what it looks like at the least. It's kind of interesting to. Let's see. All right, first look at the Vive Cosmos. This must be it. Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, it hooks up to your phone too.
So that was very cool. I'm gonna try to play it real slow. So that's it turning right there. So it's got a hinge somewhere right above, right here, that will flip up. It looks like almost a straight 180. Almost a 180. That is good technology right there. And it looks like what they're trying to hint here is that the main points of connection for your head, so it doesn't slip off, is the back band and this new forehead band. So on all virtual reality headsets right now, your main points of connection is the actual face itself. The face itself. So this is my, like, where my eyebrows are, essentially. My eyebrows are right here, and this goes right under my eyes. And this rests on my nose, right? So this looks like everything actually sits almost right here, right where the G Fuel logo is on the top of my head. So that
looks be a lot more comfortable than pressing on your face all the time.
And that's a huge part of it. So this is the portable Vive. This is the Cosmos. This is the new one that they just announced today. So yeah, and it looks like it's gonna
or anything on it yet. So
yeah. So it looks like everything is gonna sync to your phone now too. And they're putting cameras on the outside of it as well. I guess for importing data from outside, like from the real world into any like display that you're showing inside of virtual reality. Looks really cool, man. And I have friends that work at Vive. Maybe I can get some demo stuff going on. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. I have some friends over there now, so that looks interesting.
Yep, I thought.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. It looks like they've done a bunch of updates for it. So, yeah, we might have to do some follow-ups with this to see more as this comes out. So.
Yeah. And the other one you touched on, another one is the Elgato key light.
Yep. So let me jump to that.
Find that picture. It is
right here.
That is right there. That is got to be nice for streamers.
But it uses a giant. What are they called? I feel like halogen is the wrong word. I don't remember what they're called. But it's the bulbs that don't get very hot at all. And it has a built-in fan inside of the light bulb, so that way it's keeping the light bulb cold. It's actually really, really interesting.
But they're coming out next week for $200, which isn't a horrible price.
$200? That's not bad. That's not bad.
So
that's not bad.
I thought that was a good deal on that. Yeah, they look bright on this picture. I'm telling you what.
Yeah.
It looks like a floodlight, man.
Oh, it's $200 for one, not a pair. Yeah. See, this was misleading a little bit, though. I would have much rather preferred $200 for the set. The benefit to what MD was just saying is it's all controlled from your computer or your Stream Deck. That part makes the $200 part really, really worth it. However, for one, I don't know. I'd pay $100 for one. I don't know if I'd pay $200 for one.
Well, you know how it goes. They come out and launch them at a price. They don't go
sure.
very well, and suddenly the price is 50% off. So
yeah. The latest software controls with adjustable brightness from 2,500 lumens, or up to 2,500 lumens. For reference, 100 watt replacement LED bulb usually burns about 1,400 to 1,500 lumens, and a color temperature range of 2,500 to 7,000 K. So yeah, it'll actually be able to produce more brightness than your 100 watt replacement LED bulbs. This is what I use. Soft boxes is $100. So
it's not really old tech. There's not been a lot of advancements in the whole lighting thing since LEDs came out. You got colored LEDs and you got however many different, but it basically boils down to their LEDs.
yeah.
So
I think the part that sets it off is the $200 for one. If it was $200, if it was $100 a piece, I'd be down. $100 for LEDs that are controlled by my Stream Deck, I would be 100% for. But $200, I start struggling with the price range.
Like I said, I suspect that price will drop if they don't have any sales. Because you know they don't have $100 in it building it. They're just trying for a massive markup.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that was one of the other cool things. And then the last one was the really expensive one.
I still have two more links from you. I have. Never mind. Yep. One of them was Cosmos. The last one.
Corsair crams a i9 9000K and an RTX 2080 Ti into its compact desktop.
So super small computer. This is actually the width of the computer right here. So computer ends here. This is just an exploded view of it. So it's just this little box here. Let's see. It's an i9 9920X processor with 12 cores, 24 threads of computing muscle. It's paired with an RTX 2080 Ti, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and a 960 gigabyte solid state drive, and there's a 2 terabyte hard drive inside of it, all in a very small computer. I wonder if they have dimensions of it. It's a 12-liter case. 12-liter case. So if you think about, you get your 2-liter of soda, 6 of those. So I'd probably just stack them.
12 liters compared to 35 liters for normal towers.
But
wait for the price.
It is 1 penny cheaper than $5,000. Yeah, so for a grand total of $4,999.99, you have yourself a pretty beast computer. Actually, this is a really cool picture. This is the size of it right here. There it is. Your Stream Deck, which I have right here. This is my Stream Deck next to my face, so that's how small it is, right? It barely goes from my eyebrow to the bottom of my nose, okay? Very, very small piece of technology. You see this exact device right next to the computer right there. So, it's very small. That is a travel-worthy computer. But you would never travel with $5,000 computer. So small.
No. Well, I got a cheaper one that's $3,600. So,
do they?
I mean, if you really don't want to step up to the big boy.
Here we go.
But some of what this is, and I should have saved that link, but they're starting to produce AMD is starting to come out with a processor too. That I got to find it now.
Wait,
But
hold on a second. What am I missing? Oh, hold on a second. What is missing out of it? 32 gigs of RAM. Hold on. So it has an i9 processor, 12 cores. I'm going to put this in the chat. Right there. That's what it comes with for $5,000. This is what it comes with for 3.6. 3.6.
9900K, and the other one is a 9920X.
Only thing that you're missing. Oh, okay. So very small. The processor is different, but it's still an i9. You're still getting a 2080 Ti. You're still getting 32 gigs of RAM. You're still getting the DDR4. You get half the SSD. So it's just a half SSD and a very slight difference in the processor, and you save $1,400? Get that! If you want another SSD, you could buy another 500 gig for like $50. Not $50, like $100. Maybe 75. But oh my god. No, I wouldn't say pennies.
It was kind of a cool thing that they're starting to put together machines with the new round of Intel processors and that beast of a video card, the 2080. So, which are not cheap either.
NVMe is a different type of SSD. What makes the NVMe different, Avatar? Using the M2 slot. But what, I mean, does that really make a $1,400 difference? What's up, RGB? LG announced a new homebrew beer system that uses Keurig-like cups. For homebrew, I'm down. Yeah, these are great, Ang Warrior. It's 300% faster than a normal SSD, and the prices are very, very high. Man, I wouldn't care. SSDs are so high, and you don't need 1 terabyte for your OS. You don't. Get a regular SSD. They're fast. 300% faster is fantastic, but you don't need a terabyte of it.
No, you don't. Well, it's kind of the same thing when SSDs first came out. My first one was a 60 gigabyte just so I could put Windows on the start drive. And Windows took up 48 gigabyte of that 60. And so you couldn't put anything else on there, but it loaded fast.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when SSD. It's crazy. I don't see how you could Keurig it. I'm just curious though, Bearded. I'm just curious, you know. It won't be your traditional homebrew, but if I could get a beer like a Keurig cup, kind of interested.
I want this kind of beer tonight.
Yeah. Angry Orchard in a Keurig. Let's go. See? I'm down. Save a trip to the bar. I'm down.
Yeah, I put that on the list, British. We're gonna talk motorcycles one night. So. But that was the stuff that I thought was kind of cool. There was another one, but I'll have to look for a later date. That it's a laptop that's gonna change the face of laptops. So.
Which one is?
There's one they're making specific processors and graphics GPUs, and I'll have to find it again because I don't have it on my links up here in the 50,000 tabs I have open, and I must have deleted it on accident. But it's stupid fast, and it doesn't get real hot. So
there's actually a third version of this this mini PC for a $3,000 version, it's actually, this one is quite the difference. So you get an i7 instead of your i9, which is not bad. An i7 is fantastic. You get an RTX 2080 instead of a 2080 Ti. Not that it's downplaying it, but, you know.
Yeah, it's just a 2080.
It's just a 2080. And you still get the same RAM and the same storage as the $3,600 one. In all honesty, I'd probably pay the $600 and get the benefit out of the i9 and the Ti. I'd probably pay the $600.
Is technology is going so fast that these prices are going to come down in a hurry.
Yeah,
maybe not the not a bunch, but they will, because until we get Bitcoin people to quit buying all the damn graphics cards up, we're going to
actually that's turning down now. Graphics cards are getting cheaper, so you're going to see a lot of benefit coming out of that again. CES is the gift that keeps on giving. Apparently, Razer announced that they're making a monitor at CES. Razer monitor, and I'm a huge Razer nerd. So I am. Here we go. Razer gets into the gaming monitor game. I'm ready. Show me all the stuff, CES. Show it to me. Here we go. I'm ready. I don't need volume. I just want to see it. We have a 28-second commercial. Here we go. PCs lose value faster than a new car. It's true. It's true. Unknown. Find the parts half off, Gloomy. Thank you. Gloomy is the guy to go to for finding parts cheap. Graphics card manufacturers are starting to make two product lines, one for data mining and one for gaming. It's true. It's true. There we go. So Razer, making all of the fancy chroma stuff, are now making a monitor. The chroma's pretty interesting, though. Look at this. It has all the cords that run in cable management along the bottom side of the monitor. Check that out. The bottom side of the monitor here is all your cable management. So you don't have cables running all over the place out the back of the monitor. That's pretty neat. I like it. Small, minor detail that they don't necessarily have to throw in there. I like it. I like it. I wonder if they include any details, like text-based details. Are they all proprietary cords, though? That would suck. 27 inches, 2K, 144 hertz, HDR FreeSync. That's not bad. Do we have a price range?
Not cheap.
$700 later this year. $700, 27-inch gaming monitor. Yeah. It's not just a CES prototype. That's the one thing that we do have to mention about CES. CES is famous for prototypes. Half the stuff you see at CES doesn't actually come out. However, there are a lot of brands that say, let's see the reaction that we get out of this, and we'll push forward. Razer is actually making the monitor, it seems. Actually, look how this works. This is really cool, too. So it's based off of a sliding system to determine the height of the monitor. So that's actually pretty cool.
That's a different design and
Much
a take
different
on a
design.
monitor.
Yeah. I like this. This is pretty neat.
The only thing I don't like is the fact that it doesn't look like it's got a way to connect it to a monitor bracket. Like if you have three monitors, you've got a bracket that holds all three.
You
of them.
have no bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have no. There's 75 and 100 millimeter bracket. There's none. So that would pose a problem. Let's see. The cable management system on the back, Razer actually includes special flat Razer green colored cables for managing inputs without spoiling the design. A power cord, HDMI, DisplayPort, USB-C, and a USB-A. They give you all the cords included inside the box. 27-inch screen, 2560 by 1440 QHD resolution, 144 hertz refresh rate, with a 1 millisecond blur reduction. Oh, and between 1 millisecond and 7 millisecond response rate. The screen reaches a brightness of 420 nits. I don't know what that compares to other monitors. And supports HDR. But Razer hasn't specified which HDR standard specifically. The one downside, there's only support for AMD's FreeSync tech and not NVIDIA's G-Sync. I wonder why. Because they're both really high desired in monitors right now. On the software side of things, the Raptor will support picture-in-picture input capabilities. That's pretty cool. You can use two inputs at the same time on your monitor. That's actually pretty handy for streaming. There's also support for screen mirroring for the Razer Phone 2 via USB-C connection. Interesting. Oh, and they also announced the new Razer Blade 15 gaming laptop. So,
you get an update, it'd break the card, and then you have to wait for a new driver, and it was just a pain in the ass. But AMD was really good about it. But if you're starting to get card-based stuff, it's going to start making it a lot worse as far as buying video cards.
You want the manufacturers to be able to make one product line. Like if I buy my LG monitor, right, I want it to be able to support any computer that I'm buying. I don't want to have to choose between LG if I'm like going the Intel route, or go between, you know, Samsung because I went the AMD route. It's just nonsense, man. I just want my monitor to be able to support whatever computer I plug it into, right? It's a monitor. It plugs into the computer. It should just work. So, yeah. Razer Blade, I prefer rollerblades. David. But yeah.
What's a Razer Blade? I'm not real sure.
Yeah, so hopefully we see everything merging back to the place where things belong when it goes to hardware, like accessory hardware, like monitors and whatever, you know, keyboards and mice. You know, if we're having to buy certain brands because the computer parts aren't allowing different brand or your accessories to work between all, that's gonna be ugh. I need to convince my boss that I need a Razer keyboard. Ornata, $80. Ornata, great keyboard. All right, CES. That was a huge topic. I think it was a really fun topic, though.
I think that ended up being a little bigger than I anticipated. So I think we get to.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot for us to branch off of with CES. So I know Jade Fox is happy that we got to chat about it. I will post the link to CES's like all their announcements. CES still goes on for another 3 days, I think. So check the link over the next few days. If you see topics, put them in the Mixcast channel on Discord. Like, actually, there's going to be hundreds of topics. There was already 101 topics on that page alone. 101. I touched like a page and a half of them. So
and of that, 3 that I found interesting. So
yeah. So there's a whole bunch of them. So this topic could potentially go on forever. So I want you guys to be diligent in telling me what your previous life goals were. What was one thing that you really wanted to do in life that you either got to do or still want to do? Like, trying to think. Like a lot of you, because I don't like anime, but I love like everything else that comes out of Japan. I want to go see Japanese ruins. I want to go see Tokyo. That's a life goal of mine. Like, I don't like it, when I think about going to Japan, I don't care about work. I don't care about my house. I don't care about like my goal of getting a Tesla. I don't care about any of that. I just want to go to Japan. That's a life goal of mine. So I'd love to hear something that was either a life goal of yours that you got to complete, or something that you or that's something that you really want to do. So let me get a couple of these in, and then we'll grab Bad Frogs. I want to see Bad Frogs. He's pointing at the fish behind him. So let's see. David says, well, in my previous life, I was a pirate, so my goals were pretty good. What? I don't understand. Let's see. Kangas wants to travel to Greece to take photos. Interesting. I like that one. Is there any reason specifically Greece? Like compared to, I don't know. Like any other beautiful places on Earth. There's a lot of beautiful places on Earth. I'm curious why Greece. Wonder Boy wanted to go to ITT Tech to pursue oh my god. Oh, I thought you were actually doing the commercial. That's legit. It literally looked like you were reading off the commercial. Oh my god. I wanted to go to ITT Tech and pursue a career in the tech industry. Needless to say, I let a girl get in the way of that. I tend to take care of other things. Before taking care of myself. It just shows that you're a generous person, Wonder Boy. But that doesn't mean it will stop you from following a dream of yours, following a goal and completing that goal. College is always there to learn a tech trade. Go for it, man, even if something stops you for a little bit of time doesn't mean you can't complete it. I believe in you, dude. You can do it.
See, Jade Fox wanted to travel to Italy. I've been there. It's great. And
really?
the beach. Been there. It's great. I've always wanted to do that, but didn't get to do it. Italy is if you want to eat real Italian food, is heaven.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait.
No, I'm saying.
Wait, hold on.
I'm talking about real stuff, not stuff they serve in restaurants even there.
You're telling me if I go to Italy.
If you go to Italy and go to a regular restaurant, you will not get authentic Italian food. You have to go to these out-of-the-way mom-and-pop places that have 4 tables, and they make the stuff right there in front of you.
That's part of my Japan thing, is to find the most authentic food, and you have to adjust your stomach to be able to do things like that because you eat such a different style of food, right? A lot of food in Japan is not cooked as much as the rest of the world is. So luckily for me, a lot of Cuban meats are not cooked as much as they probably should be. And I like eating a lot of raw fish. So I'm pretty much good to go. But yeah. No, that's really cool, Bad Frog, that you got to experience a lot of that. Jade Fox, you said the beach. Just the beach? Any beach? Ever? You've never been to a beach?
She's exactly the wrong place to go to the beach. Right in the middle of the 2 oceans. It's forever to get to either one.
But still, I mean, never traveled to...
You don't want to go south because that's a nasty beach.
Interesting.
Well, as you can guess, mine has to do with fish and water. I want to dive the Great Barrier Reef. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but that's been my goal for a number of years, is to dive on the Great Barrier Reef. So,
hey man, sometimes you just got to do it, Just got to do it.
JG wanted to be a mom, so check.
Good on you, Miss JG. Good on you. And she wants to see the Northern Lights. You've never seen the Northern Lights? You're in Boston. You're not even that far. You're not even that far. If you did a day trip up to Canada, you could do it in a day. It's so easy to see the northern lights as soon as you get to the Canadian border. Just got to get away from the lights, like they act like fake lights, not skylights.
It's not really the northern lights. It's a couple of guys with flashlights messing with people. Just saying.
Let's see. Let's see.
That's where all MD's drones are made.
Kangas loves to photo. It's beautiful, and that's the reason why Kangas wants to go to Greece. It's beautiful. You should talk to Miss JG. Miss JG loves to photo. She does photo of people a lot. So, you two might connect well with photo. That would be a really cool connection between the two of you. It says previous life goals. So what were you in your previous life? No. No. Your life goals that you previously had or still currently have. Not previous goals in another life.
Well, back when I was in the 5th grade, it was cold in the winter until we invented fire. So, I'm just saying.
Belly, you are not even close to pregnant. Let's see. Toaster always wanted to go to the West Coast, more specifically the Northwest. I guess I accomplished that goal. I want to see some tornado goals out of you, man. I'm glad you got to accomplish your goal, though. That you got to visit the Pacific Northwest. We enjoyed having you here.
Bearded Viking. I want to go to Germany and visit the area in the.
Hold on. You got to speak up a little louder. Your mic cut out.
Oh, you said I want to go to Germany and visit the oldest brewery in the world.
Oldest brewery in the world. Does it have a famous name? Do we know it? Bearded. Halo Collector says
Budweiser.
Is it?
No.
Oh no, that's an American beer, Budweiser. Tricked me. I was just completely thinking of something else. So, Halo Collector says 42 states down, 8 to go for all 50. Where's the last 8 states, Halo Collector? I'd love to know. Let's see. Wonderboy says the Gulf is gross. The Gulf of Mexico, like the Gulf.
No, just Ocean. The Gulf around Texas is gross.
Yeah, no, I agree. Weihenstephaner. That is the oldest brewery in the world. Known brewery, because beer is technically the oldest drink on Earth, other than I think wine and water.
People wonder if beer didn't come before wine.
I don't know.
Wine is a little bit more sophisticated.
Well, wine is just
it's fermented grapes, but
yeah, I don't know.
But that's
beer was first. Yeah, so water, beer, wine, more than likely. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Oldest brewery that we know. Let's see.
Jade Fox says, I tried to give Son everything I didn't have, so he traveled with the orchestra to many places that she didn't. That's cool. Kind of sacrificing a little bit to give your kids something you didn't have. That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. Let's see. David said, a goal I won't achieve, but one as a kid/teenager was to be a Washington State Patrol officer. That's a cool goal. Serving your state, protecting the citizens. That's a cool goal. It's a very tough goal to obtain when you have passed. There's like a very specific age distance where you're incapable of starting to go for the patrol officer. But that is a cool goal. I know a lot of people go for like firefighter and things along that line. So, yeah, I have a lot of friends that are police officers, and they enjoy it a lot. So,
and Twister says As far as weather light goals, I've already accomplished that as well. I got to see a tornado close and in person. I was able to do that in 2013.
Nice.
Yeah, those guys are nuts, but more power to you. Because the last thing I want to get hit with is a flying cow.
That's true. I love that movie, man. David Appialp says, I went to a huge music festival, 100,000 people a day at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That was a fun thing that I achieved. That sounds unbelievable. 100,000 people a day at a huge music festival. That's nuts, dude. That's nuts.
4 miles is pretty close, Twister. I mean, it's not right up in there, but
4 miles is too close.
Change and you're in it in no time.
4 miles is about 100 miles too close for me. Bearded Valkyrie says, I want to go to Scotland and visit my family's distillery. All right, now that's cool. That's cool. Go to your family's distillery in Scotland. Can you take me with you, and then we can go to Ireland? Because I want to go to, like, all of the beer. I want to see, like, I want to go to all of the beer. I want to go to Guinness so bad. Gladly take you. I'm ready.
Twister, we are definitely getting closer to that day because I'm looking forward to it. He wants to explain that story another day, maybe on Mixcast, when we figure out the way to have guests. So,
oh, keep reading. It's not really hers. Wait, what do you mean? I don't see that. I see. She said she answered Roadkill. The name of the distillery is Glenlivet. Glenlivet.
Is it Glenn leaving it?
She said, it's not exactly my family. It's on your family's land. Hey, man, tell them to get out or it's yours.
No, you can't have Guinness in the States. That's just wrong.
The Guinness distillery in Tennessee? No. Legit. I did get to go to Yuengling in Tampa, though. Yuengling, what is it? It's the oldest brewery in the United States, I believe, is Yuengling in Tampa. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's largest. It's oldest or largest. I don't remember. But yeah, Yuengling is in Tampa, and I love Yuengling. Yuengling's fantastic.
Halo said no one has said anything about orbiting. I'd love to leave the atmosphere.
Ooh, that's me.
Mine
that's
is
me.
Obviously, I would rather go the other way. Go live under the water, but yeah.
See, I'm okay. Like, I like being able to know what's around me, and I can see it in space. When I'm underwater and it gets too dark, you're not bringing that much light with you.
Well, I guess.
Let's see. British Chair says the best Aurora Borealis is worth a trip. Do it, aka the Northern Lights. It really is gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I gotta catch up on some of this chat. Halo Collector Vancouver, because you're up here in Seattle
that's the
too.
Same ones I'm missing, as a matter of fact. Alaska, Hawaii, and up in the Northeast.
Yeah. Let's see.
David says, I'm curious about doing a road trip from Seattle to Boston or Seattle to Miami. Maybe I'll set that as a fun goal. Owning a house has always been an adult goal.
Funny enough, I've done the exact opposite trip. I've done Miami to Seattle because I moved from South Florida.
Drive.
I moved from South Florida. It was 56 hours. It was 56 hours. I literally lived 1 hour away from Miami. So I've done basically that whole trip. So, but if it counts, I drove from Tampa the night before to Jupiter, Florida, which was 3 hours, and then 56 hours to Seattle. So I technically drove 2 hours longer than if I were to leave from Miami. So that was a trip and a half. Let's see. Miss JG says, I have a friend who wanted to be a state trooper here in MA. You said ut. He? She? It? Couldn't.
Them?
But couldn't. Because he was too short. Really? There's a lot of females who are very short officers. I didn't really think that there would be a height requirement for an officer.
A different standard.
In different states, maybe? Different standards, different states?
Well, yeah, definitely different standards, different states, but there's a different standard between males and females, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. True. He. I mean, he's taller than you? Interesting. All right.
Well, everybody knows my road trip I took here not too long ago, which was
California. I don't know if everyone knows.
I went from California to South Carolina on the south part of the United States. Then went South Carolina to Michigan and back to California on the north side of the states.
Yeah.
And I did all that just to go see my granddaughter.
So, yeah, I remember when you took that trip. That was when you were like super active and fairly new to my community. Maybe not like really new, but new enough. And I remember you taking that journey, and you would stop in the channel every so often and post where you were at. So and I was watching your Twitter journey too, posting how many hours you had driven and stuff.
That was a hell of a trip. I'm going to do it again this summer, I think.
Nice. Valkyrie says that she's going to take me to where was it? It wasn't Sweden. Where was it? Where were we going? I forgot where we're going. Take me to Ireland. I forget where we're going. But I will happily go. Take me to all of the drinking countries. I will go to all of them. Let's see. Glenn Levitt. That's the name of it. Let's see. Halo Collectors. Oh yeah, has said no one has said anything about leaving the atmosphere. That actually, for me, that's one of mine. As soon as it becomes like public capable, without it being terribly expensive, I wanna orbit Earth.
I'd like to do it once, but I don't want to. I have done a long trip British on a motorcycle. I went from Oklahoma City to Georgia to visit my wife on a motorcycle. It was 21 hours, and I went straight through and only stopped for gas.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, was that miserable.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's miserable to sit on a motorcycle that long.
Panic Ride says he's been to the Guinness factory in Dublin. He says it's so touristy, it makes it seem like Disney Park. That's super unfortunate. It doesn't change that I don't want to go there. Like, I still very much do, but that's very unfortunate. I wish it wasn't like that.
The only one I'd like to really see is that Irish whiskey distillery. And I cannot for the life of me remember which one it is.
Oh, I don't know.
I've seen it.
Jameson.
I've seen it on a show on TV, and it was just flat out amazing. So that'd be something I'd want to. Red breast. I don't want a red breast.
Let's see. Jade Fox says that she'd rather go to the Earth's core. That's quite the trip. There's a movie based on that.
Well, there's dinosaurs down there, and
there's apparently giant crystals of giant crystals that that occupy the Earth's core because things get so hot that it creates giant because like if you heat up a grain of sand enough, it'll crystallize. The pressure and the heat will cause geodes to form, which is really cool. If you've never seen the process, it's very cool. But yeah, there's big theories that the closer that you get to the Earth's core, you'll start running into giant waves of geodes that are just formed through the Earth because of how much pressure there is from the gravity and the heat of the center of the Earth. Pretty interesting. If you didn't know that, fun fact for you.
There's dinosaurs in a big lake.
That's true.
A cool thing, and you got fake lights on the ceiling. I'm telling you, it's not hot at all.
Yeah, it's very true.
I've watched movies.
Sorry. British Air says
yawning, you're yawning.
New England, Ireland, and Tahiti are on her trip list. Those are very interesting choices. Tahiti. I feel like I don't hear that one often. I'm sensing a European drinking trip, big family style. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Backpacking, drinking, and streaming. I'll bring the streaming gear. We're good to go.
That wouldn't be safe.
Hell yeah!
I'd have to be the designated backpack leader.
Let's see. What's up, Judge Racer? Mr. G says if she ever won the lottery, she'd go to Bora Bora. Isn't that like the most famous place for clear water and like the hotels at the end of the dock type of thing? Isn't that like that super famous one that you always see on travel brochures? Yeah, I know oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about. You sold hotels there and they never gave you like a free trip or anything, you know, pay for your flight, but you get to stay. Oh man.
Kangas wrote a novel here. I'm slowly working towards my dream job. Ever since I was 11 and my two twin cousins were born prematurely at 27 weeks, I've wanted to be a NICU nurse. With the job I have now, I get great tuition reimbursement, and they believe in training their employees to become better things. I probably would be one now, but I have a kid fresh out of high school. But I had a kid fresh out of high school. Not have, had. That's honestly, that's kind of where my wife started when my back finally went out completely, and I had to quit working. She went and joined the Army to be a nurse, just for that reason. And she's worked in a lot of cool places because of that. But it's a tough road.
Aren't you? You're in the process of becoming a NICU nurse, aren't you, Kangas?
Yeah, that's what I read from that.
Well, no, because Kangas had said that she wanted to be a NICU nurse. Or is it British Chairs that's a NICU nurse? I feel like we know someone that's a NICU nurse. Because we were just talking, I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the New Year's Eve stream, didn't we? Or like the New Year's Day stream?
Yeah, at some point, because you went NCIU.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that exact conversation. Someone we know here, and it might be Kangas, that's
Yeah, I think it was Kangas, because we're back to the janitor thing, where she cleans up after not the nicest things in the world.
But you're in the process of studying to be a NICU nurse, Kangas? Because you said that they have really good reimbursement and training for their employees to be better, to become better things. I have to restore every comment that has Kangas's name in it. Every comment. I have to click on the comment and just say restore. Let's see. Miss JG won a trip to Arizona once. Not to Bora Bora, but to Arizona. It's about equivalent. It's the equivalent, you know. If you wanted to go to Bora Bora, your other option is Arizona. She chose Arizona.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Kangas is going to start. I have to wait a year. Oh, okay. Dartmouth saved my mom's life and helped my brother so much. Gotcha. Okay, let's do
Code of the day.
Let's do code of the day. Let's do it because this is a long episode of Mixcast. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark. So, but thank you guys so much for sharing all of your stuff. You guys are fantastic. You guys are the best to talk to.
Yeah, no, it makes the time. Yeah, it's 2 hours. It goes by fast. If I wasn't watching the clock all the time, I wouldn't know it happened.
Yeah, we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. We're about 10 minutes away.
Yeah, we definitely try to keep it under 2 hours, but under an hour and a half is getting to be almost impossible. So
your oncology, hematology. Oh yeah, that's right. The study of tumors and things along that line.
yeah,
I remember that.
Hematology, reads 5 books a day, and knows more than we have in her little pinky than we know in our whole brain because she's intelligent.
And Jade Fox too. Chemo's blood.
Yep, Jade Fox too.
Mixcast. If you type ! Mixcast in the chat, you will be provided a link through a whisper that will allow you to do some social media stuff. Follow us, follow Mixer, follow YouTube, all those things along that line. It will also prompt you to use a code. The code of today is your band.
And I spelled it wrong and I don't want to hear about it.
We weren't sure if an apostrophe was going to work, and I was going to put an E anyway, but Bad Frog was like, no. If there's no apostrophe, there's no E. And I was like, okay.
You know, I don't tolerate silliness. I'll tolerate using the wrong "your," but not a place you can't use an apostrophe. It's crazy.
It was very demanding. It was very stressful. So it's your band, YOURBANNED. Capitalization does not matter. If you go to player.gg/BigHungry2X/Mixcast January, or if you type ! Mixcast in the chat, you will be provided a link where you can type in your band as a code, and you'll get an opportunity to win a year of Xbox Live for free. So we wish good luck to everyone on winning that. And hopefully it's one of our regulars in the chat. I really, really do hope it's that.
Panic. You want to know what's banned? If you were a young steer, you would know exactly what was banned. Just saying.
What? What are you saying?
My wife got it.
What are you saying?
Want me to tell you the details of how this works?
No.
I don't think you really want to know.
No. I'm
okay,
good.
Just checking.
I'm good. All right. Mixcast has 4 more days remaining for the next 2 weeks. We have Tuesday through Friday this week, and I will be at PAX from Monday. Actually, Bad Frog, more bad news. Actually, maybe less bad news. I will be gone from PAX from Monday until Monday. So the Monday that I get back, there might not be Mixcast. We will see.
Why do you ruin my life like this? Who do you think you are?
We will see. I don't know what time I actually get back. So potential that there might be Mixcast. I missed the Esports Army Talk. We record it, though. It will be on YouTube. It will be on iTunes. It will be on Acast. It will be on Podbean tonight. I'm going to upload it tonight. It'll be there for you tomorrow, so you can listen to it while you're running on the treadmill or working or...
Oh, way. That's cool. I like it. The squad mate is currently trying out for the Fortnite team.
That's pretty cool.
And I've meant to say this a lot earlier. My mental health project that I've been working on for the last month or so, I'm finally going to do that this Thursday. So
Thursday. He said it here first. I didn't even know it was Thursday.
Well, we talked about Wednesday or Thursday, so I picked Thursday.
Thursday.
But it's an important subject to me and to a couple other people, and I'm going to let everybody know that we're part of the questionnaire that is going to be Thursday. But I would appreciate as many people showing up Thursday for that. I put a lot of work into it. I think it's kind of interesting. So
if you have ever listened to an episode of Mixcast, please be here live Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, approximately. Sometimes we're a few minutes late.
Sometimes we're 30 minutes late.
It just depends if there's technical difficulties. But yeah, be here Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bad Frog will be extremely appreciative, and I will be extremely appreciative just because I care about Bad Frog's subject that he's going to be talking about. So, will I send pics from PAX? I will be trying to stream a little bit every day. I'm actually buying a whole streaming setup for mobile streaming at PAX, and I will be very active in Discord. So you will see a bunch of stuff. Don't you worry. You bring the frog, I'll bring the water. Oh, okay, I will. I'll bring the frog. All right. You guys were fantastic. Join us tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you missed some topics that you wanted to hear about, it will be live tonight. Check it out tomorrow.
I don't want to hear it, Wonder Boy.
And if there were CES topics that are in the link that I will provide on the Mixcast channel in Discord that you want to talk about, bring them up. There was 101 topics from CES today alone, and today was the first day of CES.
I will check. I usually check it a couple times a day, but I will make sure to check it around 3 o'clock when I start setting up show material. And if there's anything in there that looks interesting that you want to hear about, it will be on the show tomorrow night. So
yeah,
that's on you guys if you want to know about something or have us discuss something. It will be there tomorrow night if you put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it, Kangas.
Yeah. That's about it. That's about all we got for you guys. Thank you guys for showing up today. We had a pretty decent sized audience and you guys were very talkative. So thank you guys so much.
Yep.
We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.